In this video, we are going to talk about Pacific Surf Liner trip report. Walking into Union Station to catch the train down to San Diego was kind of bittersweet for me. On one hand, thanks to the awesome ride up from San Diego yesterday, I was a seasoned train traveler now, and I felt like a pro instead of a clumsy noob, and that felt great. On the other hand, I wasn't feeling as half excited as I was yesterday, and I was almost seeing this train ride as a minor nuisance that stood between us and a relaxing afternoon at home. But hey, at least I didn't have to drive. Route map of the Amtrak Pacific Surf Liner showing all stops between Los Angeles and San Diego. Today's route down to San Diego, as you might expect, will be the exact opposite of the trip north. We will be stopping at all the same stations, but this time in reverse. No information needed today, thanks. I'm a seasoned train traveler now, and I've got this. It's very refreshing how there isn't a mad rush to make train stations modern and high-tech like most airports these days. Not my typical GoPro self-timer kind of selfie, but it works. I feel like I should have worn a bow tie today. A quick look at the departures board. No need to head down to the platform yet, we've still got some time. My wife and I took full advantage of the relaxed ways of train travel by taking our time and not worrying too much about being the first in line or any silly thing like that. We were simply enjoying the moment of a calm and relaxed morning in the train station, and I was thinking that it was a really nice change of pace from being in a busy airport. We wandered down to the platform at exactly 20 minutes before departure time. Big mistake. Although we felt like seasoned pros, we unfortunately underestimated the volume of passengers that would be boarding the train for the trip south to San Diego this morning. We thought it was going to be a calm and casual boarding process, just like it was at the Santa Fe Depot in San Diego yesterday, but we were in for a bit of a shock. There were no long lines or anything. As a matter of fact, there were no lines at all. The shock came once we boarded the train and realized that nearly every business class seat was taken and that we may not be able to sit together. Oops, up the stairs to the platform. Keep these stairs in mind if you are bringing your luggage on the train, like we are. Kind of odd that there doesn't seem to be a line of people waiting to board. I quite like the Amtrak Pacific Surf Liner livery. Silver and blue is a great combination. We were in the overflow car this time, which is essentially a coach car but with business class service. Mid-90s style first-class airline seats is the best way to describe these things. These seats have the same amount of legroom as the main business class car. There was a problem, however. Although this was business class, there was no attendant attending our car. We could see him in the car ahead handing out snack boxes and offering drinks just as we experienced yesterday on the trip up from San Diego, but we weren't getting any of that service today way back here. I actually had to ask one of the attendants who eventually walked by, and he was able to confirm that yes, this car was indeed business class. Then. Interior of the Amtrak Pacific Surf Liner business class overflow car. The airline guy in me was highly amused that our full-size suitcase fit in the overhead bin, rolling out of Union Station and headed southbound. The ride down to San Diego was pretty much an exact copy of what we experienced yesterday, although in reverse. We were never offered a snack box though, which was considering that I'd brought lunch with me. However, thankfully, free drinks were still provided, so all was not lost. Good thing I brought a lunchbox today because we didn't get any snacks this time. Thanks Starbucks. Free wine to wallow in our sorrows of a not quite business class experience. Rolling time, rail time, ride time was advertised as 3 hours, which was slightly longer than the trip north yesterday. At first, I wasn't sure exactly why this was, considering that it was all the same train stations on the same track, but by the time we got to Anaheim, it was obvious as to what was happening. We ended up sitting a lot, waiting for northbound trains to go by. I'm not sure if today was an exception or not, but it seemed to me that northbound trains have priority on this track. Can anyone confirm this? I'd love to know. I wish there was a way to include sound with these pics. Relaxed morning in the train station, and I was thinking that it was a really nice change of pace from being in a busy airport. Sometimes it would be better than my stupid captions. I eventually peeled my nose from the window and wandered downstairs to the bathroom. It almost felt like I stepped into the lower galley of an L-1011. I can't remember exactly how many bathrooms were down here, but I remember thinking that there were so many that it was obnoxiously overkill. Had to be 5 at least. Amtrak Pacific Surf Liner bathroom. Well, I guess toilet is a more accurate description. While on the lower level, I spent a few minutes watching the rails whiz by at high speed. Time to head back to the upper level. The coastline will be in sight soon, and I don't want to miss it. Sights like this made me feel very thankful for the decision to take the train. I discovered so many new places that I eventually want to check out. San Clemente is very cool. Why have I never taken the time to hang out here before? Dude, I've got to come back here when the weather is better. The ride down through Oceanside and into San Diego was as beautiful as ever, and interestingly enough, it seemed that the people sitting around us at that time were completely different than the group that started out with us in Los Angeles. A lot of people came and went at various train stations, and all we were left with by the time we hit Oceanside were a middle-aged couple from Orange County who were getting drunk on cheap wine, and 2 young friends from Huntington Beach who were traveling down to San Diego to catch a theater performance that evening. We knew this because the drunk couple were starting to get loud, and they began talking to the 2 friends. Ooh, look at that traffic starting to build on the southbound 5. Glad we aren't sitting in that today. Welcome to Oceanside, now officially out of Orange County and into San Diego. One last pic of Oceanside before it's gone, and we are on our way to the next town. Solana Beach Station and one lonely-looking guy. By the time we reached Del Mar, the noise from our neighbors was becoming intolerable. Our car was essentially empty, but these 4 people sitting behind us were talking so loud that it was hard to enjoy the experience of the beautiful scenery right outside our window. Combine that with the fact that our 3-hour trip was already pushing 4 hours, and it started to become somewhat miserable considering the fact that we were dead tired and just wanted to be at home. If you like the video, please like and share. Thanks for watching.